Done. Okay, guys, I'm with Linda Reynolds this afternoon, and we're going to talk about holidays. We're going to talk about something nice and bright and breezy and places to go. So, Linda is a personal travel agent. So, Linda, just tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll start laughing again.
Yeah. Hi, my name's Linda Reynolds. I'm a personal travel agent of over 32 years. I'm based in Rugby, and I have my own business with Mid Counties Co-op, which I've run for 22 years. Hi, Sally.
Hello. Brilliant. Now, I just want us to talk about something really light, and because I know obviously things are difficult for everybody at the moment, and we've just been talking about obviously the travel industry is facing its own sort of problems and things. But kind of thinking, when we come out of this, some great places to go, some fabulous holidays. So fire away, talk me through some.
Talk you through it. So the way I look at it at the minute, 2021 is probably going to be a bumper year because we've all been locked up, self-isolated, stuck with family, enjoying family. So I think initially we're probably going to see the domestic market take off. So I'd imagine once the UK has sorted out its coronavirus, we will probably see a huge increase in the domestic market. So all those people
are trying to stay local.
I think we'll stay local. I think initially we will. My hope would be that people will go to local cafes and local events, local places. So if you've got like houses, National Trust houses, parks and local events, that's how I see it expanding. I get the impression people are, now they're used to home, probably won't want to go too far initially.
Yeah, and I suppose we don't really appreciate what we've got until something like this happens, and we have to stay in the confines of our own homes. So actually, you start to explore the area a bit more, don't you, and start to look at what's around you and appreciate what's around you.
Yeah, and I think after that, it will be down to each country as they open up. So as each country deals with the virus and the countries are clear, then you will find sort of, I'd imagine, islands. So perhaps Cyprus, the Greek islands, the Balearic Islands. Island opening up. I do believe there'll be quite strict entry requirements, so you'll probably find that these countries will check people to make sure that you haven't got a temperature, you haven't got a cough, but it will make the experience a lot more enjoyable. I'd imagine you'll go back to how tourism began in these countries many years ago when they first started out. Little seeds of sort of bars and restaurants reopening. So I don't think it's ever going to go back to the same way because we now have this new world we're living in. Like we've previously spoken about, you can see the countryside now. We don't have smog. The rivers are clear. We've got animals coming out of places. So I think people are a lot more appreciative of nature as well. So I think tourism will go back to sustainability. We'll be going back to countries, hopefully, where we can rebuild them, because there's a lot of countries that are already poor that after this will be even poorer, so they will need our support, definitely. So I'd say the islands will start opening up, places, smaller places, Caribbean islands initially. I don't know when we'll go back to bigger countries like America and stuff, because obviously there's quite a large amount of people in those countries where you come into close proximity, whether it be Disney, parks or whatever, but it'll be interesting. Who knows? Nobody knows.
Yeah. No, I had, do you know what? Until we spoke earlier, didn't even think about the fact that actually when we do start to travel, that it will be a case of other countries opening up and whether they would want us in. Didn't even cross my mind. I've just blindly gone, it'll just all go back to normal. But actually, you're right, it won't, will it? Because it's, there's a lot of places had to close, a lot of places won't be able to reopen because of the situation, because of the money side of things.
So I think it's the manpower as well. If you've had a restaurant or a cafe, or you've had a theme park, or you've run a zoo, or some of the staff that you've had may have gone on to new jobs, or the hospitality and the travel and tourism industry is huge. I mean, absolutely ginormous. So I think our inbound tourism from China, Japan, Asia was one of the biggest. It was worth billions of pounds to the UK. So it will be interesting who's going to sort of pop their head above the parapet and sort of say, come to our city, country first, and with open arms. There's plenty of places that are on my hit list anyhow. I've got a whole list a whole list lined up. So I mean, at the moment, people are going on city breaks. So I've been rebooking city breaks for people.
Yeah.
So they've.
Is that city breaks as in the UK or city breaks?
Budapest. I've got a couple to Budapest and Ibiza. So
yeah,
it's interesting. The people that have rebooked are confident that in 12 months' time they will be able to go on their holidays and they're not cancelling. You know, they want to support. Everybody I've spoken to has said, we will definitely be going on holiday. We will definitely be using you, which is lovely. But people's confidence, it depends where you are. It depends where you are on your journey. You know, where you are on your curve, as they say, flattening the curve, where you are. I call it the tsunami effect. You've got some people who've run up the hill and they're sat on the hill and they've found their calm and acceptance of the situation, are quite happy doing their day-to-day life as we are now in isolation. You've got some people still running up the hill and they're taking turns off left and right and getting lost and a bit panicky. And then you've got some poor buggers still sat on the beach looking into the distance going, what's going on? Why am I still here?
Me.
So, you've got three stages of what's happening in the world. And I think that'll probably what will happen when tourism comes back. You'll have the three stages of people going, I'm confident. I'm going to go out in the UK initially. I'm going to go out in my caravan. I'm going to go down to London. I'm going to go to Cornwall, Devon, Scotland, Wales. You know, I'm going to go and spend my money and, you know, support the local tourism first. And then we'll gradually see. It will be down to the actual countries and the governments within those countries as to who and when and who they'll let in, I suppose.
Yeah, it's funny. George and I had also had an interesting conversation the other day because we went to Turkey a couple of years ago when the earthquakes hit. We were when the earthquake hit in Kos. We were in Turkey. Right. So, and she said, because I'd experienced earthquakes before when I was travelling when I was younger, I knew what the noise was, and I knew obviously the feeling. The whole building was sort of shaking and moving, and obviously Georgia woke up to this bang and this building moving, and I just said to her, right, just stay calm, get dressed, and get out. We're just going to go straight downstairs. Don't question me, just do it. And I just sort of grabbed a few bits, grabbed her, and headed down to the outside the hotel, and everybody was pretty much doing the same. And we literally just set up camp around the pool and stuff. And the aftershocks were there for a couple of days. And then the following year we went to Kos, and she said to me, right, so you took me to the to where the tsunami might hit. Basically, we went to Turkey one year. This year you're taking me to the epicenter of the earthquake. And she said, and now we've got this thing called COVID. Where are you going to take me, Mum? We might go to Wuhan. You're one of those pennies, those bad pennies. So wherever Sally's going, we're not going. Basically, we're not going to go. It's I think the sustainability. There's some really good companies out there. You know, they're trying to support the local people, because we forget. You know, you've got people kicking off like, oh, I want my money back, or I want to go on holiday. We forget there's people who for years who struggled just to have a roof over their head and to feed their children and to go to school. So a lot of these like travel companies, they support local initiatives. So as much as we're struggling and we want to go on holiday, they want us to come back. You know, there's people starving who make things for the hospitality industry. So I think in one of the Caribbean islands, they use the local oils and local produce to make the soap and the shampoos that go into the hotels. If those hotels are not open, then these people haven't got a livelihood. No, true, very true. So come on then, give us some clues. Where are you going to send us when this all lifts?
Right, when this is all over. At the moment, I'm looking at Koh Lanta, which is in Thailand.
All right.
So I'm just looking at that for somebody. So a beautiful hotel there called the Lanyana Resort. It's a beachfront resort. It's got pavilion rooms, garden rooms, and it's got private pool villas. So I'm looking at that for a customer. And that's very close to Krabi. So you've got Phuket, and then across from there you've got Krabi, and you can go in direct there via Thailand or Singapore, via Bangkok. So I'm looking at that. A couple of city breaks. I think the cities will take off initially 2 or 3 nights. So I think you'll find the likes of spacious cities, if that makes sense, where you're not on top of each other, may take off. So Poland and places like that. So Krakow, I reckon, Budapest, Hungary, the ones, the Eastern Bloc countries. I think you'll find that because they'll be cost effective as well.
Yeah.
And for summer holidays, I know there's thousands and thousands of people kicking at the bit to get back to Disney.
Really?
Florida. Yeah, there's, I'm in a couple of Facebook pages and groups, and people are desperate to get back to Disney. And I think it's that whole escapism thing. So at the minute, you've got people recreating Disney in their living room. So they've got like virtual rides on. They've got Mickey and Minnie on the screen. I think some people might have seen me with my Mickey and Minnie on some of the Zoom calls that I've done. So I think that whole fantasy, and I think the likes of Disney and that have probably got the monetary. They've got the monetary and the amount of people to go forward to ensure people are safe as well. So whether it still be distancing, the whole sort of cleansing of the parks and things like that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot more people will do fly drives and things where they will go traveling between places and not so crowded places, if that makes sense. So your whole beaches will come back.
Yeah.
Cruises, the cruise industry was hit first, so they were hit first in Japan with the cruise ship off Japan. They have got all their programs in place for next year and up until 2022. Oh
wow, so everybody's prepared then.
Yeah, so it's just like I say, it's who's going to pop their head above the parapet to travel, and I think as soon as we get the okay from various governments around the world, people will be off.
And what about the UK then? Where would you recommend in the UK?
I think the coastlines are definitely, so Bournemouth, Eastbourne, Brighton, or South Sea, Portsmouth, across to Cornwall, Devon, St Ives, Ilfracombe, all those places I'm sure will be, well, as we've already seen, people have made their way down. Anybody watching this on replay, we're looking at Good Friday, the 10th of April 2020, and even under the fact that we're locked down, there's still people trying to make their way to these places, even though the police are saying, no, get back in your caravan and go home, sort of thing. I think the whole coastline of the UK will explode with visitors, so caravan parks, anywhere where anybody can get to the beach, and perhaps even you'll find there'll be a lot of homegrown businesses based around sort of like yurts, and that camping experience, that festival style experience will come back.
I must admit, I went to Latitude Festival last year, and I'm fingers crossed it hasn't been cancelled yet, but I expect it will be. That was one of the things we were going to do, was up our game this year and maybe stay in one of the yurts and just do something a little bit more special. But I quite fancy that sort of thing. Although my daughter and friends are sort of saying, "Don't be so bloody ridiculous." It's camping, but I actually think it'll be a much nicer experience now. As you said,
we don't need the finer things of life, if you've always been in a 5-star hotel and not experienced, I think you'll get stay at home vacation. So we've already got our tent out to put up in the garden.
Yeah.
So that will be our holiday.
Yeah.
I'm getting a bit of a twitch because I'm not getting away at the minute. It's sort of taking over at the minute, but we're going to put a tent up, the fairy lights. We've noticed with the lack of pollution in the sky as well that the sky looks like diamonds. I mean, basically it's as though somebody's got a bag of diamonds and thrown it in the sky. So
it's so clear.
Yeah, looked at that. I mean, I'm not sure. We're basically Mother Nature's hit the reset button on us, hasn't she? She's having the last laugh. She's played her ace. Yeah,
totally. As we were talking earlier, you can hear the birds singing now. I know, and we were talking about it the other day, and just looking outside, and the sky is so blue. It's amazing. And I think it's quite nice at this time, even though we're at home, we can go and sit out in the garden. Although I have hay fever, so I sit there sort of tiring my eyes out.
You get some tablets to sort you out, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I got onto Amazon yesterday. They've bought every drop they've got going. So
it's interesting, isn't it? The postal system still working, DHL, all those, and so we can have stuff delivered. So I've just had fish delivered to my door.
Yeah.
For the freezer and stuff. So I think we'll go back to we'll be home birds, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I was like we talked about earlier, initially when this first kicked off, it was really difficult actually being at home. Now, as you say, we're settling into routine so that when we do come out of it, we'll appreciate more what's around us. So do you deal with holidays just sort of anywhere, so that it's UK based, the world, the lot, or do you specifically focus on a particular area? Or
generally bespoke, tailor-made things. So prior to this, a lot of the stuff I do is tailor-made. So I've had 4 or 5 week trips around Australia. I do New Zealand, 2 centre holidays, whether it be sort of Thailand, Cambodia. So things that people can't or couldn't used to be able to do online very easily. So rail holidays, so I could link 3 cities in Italy by rail, that type of thing. So, you know, I might have people flying into Venice, they get a train down to Rome, down to Sorrento, and then flying back out of Naples, that type of thing.
Oh, wow. I've never even thought of that.
Yeah, or cruise. So I've had people where I've taken them into Miami, they've done a cruise, got off out at Barbados, and then done a week in Barbados and cruised home.
That's brilliant.
So I very much bespoke, tailor-made, luxury, honeymoons, that type of thing. That's the type of thing I enjoy. But I've got clients from all around the world and all various ages. People generally that are time poor. So even though people have got a lot of time now to do the research, I am finding they're coming through to me. So they've got hours and hours to do the time, but they still don't have the protection or the knowledge of how to put it together, so it is protected. So
I was going to say, that's the thing at the moment, isn't it? You know how to protect these things. It's all very well as booking it individually, and just, you know, not and just sort of booking a flight, then booking a hotel. But I know myself that we wouldn't have been protected if we'd done it. So it would have been,
I think there's a lot of people out there that have spent a lot of time on the phone to various tour operators, to various airlines, hotels, whereas it's been a lot quicker for me to amend and adjust things and sort things out, you know, and people. And that buying power as well, you know, you're buying 1 room and 1 flight off the internet and putting it together yourself and saved yourself a tenner. You've probably spent 50 quid in phone calls over the last month trying to sort it out, you know, whereas we've got different means of contacting the tour operators. And I will use the word in unprecedented times, you know, that they've had a huge amount of work, but the tour operators and some of the airlines have been brilliant, and they have done their best. You know, consumer law is saying, yes, they need a refund within 14 days. If they can do it, they've been doing it. But people, you know, need to understand you don't normally get the whole world cancel the holiday at once, sort of thing. So it's a mammoth task that companies are undertaking to sort of ensure they do the best thing by their customers and by their travel agent.
So are you looking forward to coming out of this then? It's going to be a different challenge for you as well in respect of, you know, where people want to go and what they want to do.
I think the challenges coming out of this will be the companies that are left. What companies have survived this situation? So, for example, my company's Mid Counties Co-op. So we are we don't just do travel. We've got the funeral direction, we've got the retail food, we've got the pharmacy, we've got childcare. There's quite a lot from our company's point of view that we support each other within our company. There will be some smaller companies that won't survive this. You know, they're waiting for money back from hoteliers, they're waiting for money back from airlines, and they've done the right thing, and there's some companies that have already gone under. So we're going to see a whole new landscape in travel and hospitality. New systems. It'll be very interesting. And I don't think it's just within the travel industry. I think you'll find within in insurance, banking, the whole way that we do things will change, and a lot of it will down to the trust of the people we've dealt with and how they've helped us in difficult times. It's
always comes down to trust, doesn't it? No, like trust. So,
definitely, you know, and I know from my point of view, the companies that have looked after our company, they will be getting my business. They will be getting my customers' business because I trust them. And they've done the right thing at the right time by them. It'll be interesting to see what big companies survive, what companies don't survive in this time.
Yeah, absolutely. I, for one, am looking forward to booking a holiday. So it's
brilliant.
Yeah, even now we've been talking about, even September, November, that going. I know it's going to be a while yet, but it's just wanting to have that thing to look forward to, and where we're going to go. So
there's a lot of people dreaming out there. I put on my Facebook website, Linda Reynolds, personal travel agent. You can do a virtual safari at the moment.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, so the large safari companies in Africa have gone out and they've literally taken a camera with them. So you can literally be as though you're in the, in the Jeep with them, and showing you real life what they're seeing as they're driving around. So there's quite a lot.
I'm going to check that out then, because that's one of the things we were talking about. Is Georgia said to me, "Oh, it'd be fantastic to do safari." So
yeah, check it out. I mean, there's lots of things. There's lots of things out there. We've been doing also the children's quizzes. So you've obviously, like a lot of people, teaching their children at school, so we've done a lot of geography things, to do with flags and countries and different aspects for children from about 4 to 10 years old. So all that can be found on my Facebook page as well, to help people amuse their children. So it's not all about selling holidays at the minute. It's just keeping in contact, helping people keep those dreams alive. Ready for when it does all open up. But I think 2021 is going to be just amazing, not just for the travel industry, but for the whole world, in fact, I think.
Yeah, for all those people that said 2020 was their year, just shift it back one.
There's a lot of people that are 40 and 50 and 60 this year, and they're going, we'll just make it next year, birthday parties and trips abroad. And I mean, I've got some colleagues, they've moved like whole weddings 12 months on, so people are getting married this month with, say, 100 guests. They just literally moved the whole booking.
Oh, good grief.
Next year, so there's a lot of that going on, because people need things, hope, and they need things to look forward to.
Yeah, they do, absolutely. Oh, thank you so much for today. I really, really appreciate it, and hopefully we've enlightened people's lives a bit today.
Travel's a wonderful thing. It's the only thing they say that makes you richer. So
yes, it does. Yeah, definitely.
I hope everybody comes back and travels soon, whether it's the UK abroad, wherever they choose to go.
I need you to drop your links into us. So where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook at Linda Reynolds, personal travel agent. You can find me on Twitter at travelagent_Lynn. And you can find me on LinkedIn as well, Linda Reynolds. Just look me up. And you can find me under my website, idoholidays.co.uk. And if you are sat at home looking for inspiration, please sign up for my handpicked holiday offers. And I'll pop you a few emails a month into your inbox, so you can have some inspiration and look out where you want to go in the future. Thanks, Sally.
Brilliant. Thanks so much, Linda. Really appreciate it.
Okay. See you soon.
Bye.